Hello everyone, welcome to Raj's tutorial. Today we are with the fifth chapter of Footprints Without Feet. So, the book has been titled with the name of this same chapter, Footprints Without Feet. So, in this chapter, we will be reading about a scientist. His name was Griffin. He was very intelligent. He discovered a drug, or you can say he discovered a chemical and drank it. After drinking, his body became transparent, okay, as a sheet of glass. So one can see the things through his body, okay. So in this way he made himself invisible, okay. And what happens then? When he becomes invisible, he was afraid of being discovered, okay. He was in London at that time, so where he had committed lot of crimes, many crimes, okay. So he ran away from there, from London, to remote areas, remote village, you can say. He ran to remote village, but there he runs out of money, okay. So in order to get money, what he starts robbing, okay. He started robbing people, and he became a thief, and he became a lawless man, okay. And he does not hesitate to resort to criminal activities to remain a mystery. So using his invisibility for mean things, for wrong things. He could have used his invisibility for good deeds, but this man, he became very selfish, he became lawless, he started hurting people, he started robbing people, then he became a thief, then he even tried, or he even murdered people, okay. So we will learn about Mr. Griffin. He was a scientist. Then there are other two characters. One is Mrs. Hall. Okay, she was the keeper of the hotel where Griffin took shelter. Okay, it inn at Iping. That hotel was at Iping. Okay, where Griffin stays. Then Mr. Jaffer is there. He is a dutiful policeman. He falls to arrest the invisible scientist. So let us begin, children. Can a man become invisible? This is the story of a scientist who discovers how to make himself invisible. Does he use or misuse his discovery? As in introduction, I have already told you he misused his discovery. So how he misused, we will be knowing after reading the chapter. So there are two questions. We will get the answers of these questions after reading the first part. How did the invisible man first become visible? Why was he wandering the streets? Okay, so shall we begin? The two boys started in surprise. I cannot enlarge the picture, only this much I can do. Okay, the two boys started in surprise at the fresh muddy imprints of a pair of bare feet. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London? And where was the man? As they gazed, a remarkable sight met their eyes. A fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. Okay, so the two boys, they saw mysterious footprints, bare feet prints on the road or on the steps of a house. Okay, it was in the middle of the London, it was in the heart of London. So they are surprised. Okay, now this was very mysterious for them to see the foot imprints of the bare feet, but no man could be seen. So where was the man? Okay, but it was a remarkable sight when they saw fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. When they were talking about those footprints on the steps of the house, they saw another fresh footmark, so they became alert. Okay, Further footprints followed, one after another, descending the steps and progressing down the street. The boys followed, fascinated, until the muddy impression became fainter and fainter and at last disappeared altogether. So these two boys, they followed the footprints, okay? But they were progressing towards down the street. But it was very fascinating for the boys. But when they were following the footprints, the muddy impressions, the impressions started becoming fainter and at last they disappeared. Okay, the explanation of a mystery was really simple enough. The bewildered boys has had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to make the human body transparent. Okay, so it was a simple mystery. The two boys were following the footprints of a scientist who had discovered a drug to become invisible. Okay, so he had made his body transparent. Griffin, the scientist, had carried out experiment after experiment to prove the human body could become invisible. Finally, he swallowed certain rare drugs and his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass, though it also remained as solid as glass. So there is a novel, Footprints Without Feet. Okay, The Invisible Man. The name of the novel is Invisible Man. So in that book you can read the whole story in detail. Okay, first he tried his experiment on a cat, and after that many other animals. Then finally he himself swallowed the whole drug and became transparent. Okay, brilliant scientist though he was, Griffin was rather a lawless person. His landlord disliked him and tried to eject him. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. He got away without being seen. He had to remove his clothes. Thus, it was that he became a homeless wanderer without clothes, without money, and quite invisible until he happened to step in some mud and left footprints as he walked. So, for many years, for many months, he was able to roam around in as an invisible person. So in order to become invisible, he had to remove his clothes. Okay, so in this way Griffin become a lawless person. And how? So he became a criminal. Okay, so he was having a criminal bent of mind. He was a lawless person. So what he did, he set fire to his landlord's house to take revenge against him for trying to throw out him. So the landlord thought to throw out this man out of his house because he was suspicious about Griffin. He used to hide his face, he used to do experiments in the room, he was very moody, his moods used to swing, he was very irritating, he was very violent. So the landlord became very tired, fed up of this man. So he thought to throw him out. But this Griffin, in order to take a revenge, he set fire at landlord's house. Okay, so this way we can make out how lawless and how violent he was. Okay, this proves. So we'll continue where we were. So he started. So when he came out from that inn, he became from that house, he became homeless. So he was wandering here and there with no money, no food, no clothes, nothing he had, because he had removed his clothes at landlord's house to become invisible. But now he has no clothes. It was very cold, bitter cold outside. He could not bear the cold because he was nude. Without clothes, he was about to die. Now what to do? He was in problem. What to eat? Where to hide? No clothes to wear. Okay, so let us continue. Next page. He escaped easily enough from the boys who followed his footprints in London. So while wandering, these four boys found the footprints of invisible man, but the man was able to escape from those two boys. But his adventures were by no means over. Means he was very adventurous person. His adventures did not end up there. He had chosen a bad time of the year to wander about London without clothes. It was midwinter. The air was bitterly cold, and he could not do without clothes. Instead of walking about the street, he decided to slip into a big London store for warmth. So, when the bitter cold became unbearable for Griffin, he decided to go inside a big London store to receive warmth. Okay. So, closing time arrived. As soon as the doors were shut, Griffin was able to give himself the pleasure of clothing and feeding himself without regard to expense. So, Griffin was able to slip into the store. Okay, he went into the store. Nobody could see him because he was transparent. So, the storekeeper, he closed the store because it had become very dark. So he locked the store from outside. Now it was a pleasure for Griffin to enjoy warm clothes there, but without any expense. Okay, he broke open boxes, wrappers, and fitted himself out with the warm clothes. So he took brand new clothes from the store and covered his body. Soon, with shoes, an overcoat, and a wide brimmed hat, he became a fully dressed and visible person. As soon as he wore the clothes, he became a visible person. So you can see the picture here. The face is not visible because he could not cover the face. Okay, he could not wear the clothes on face. So in order to make his face also face visible, because if he would have not covered his face, people might have been scared from him. So he wrapped bandages around his face. Okay, and made an excuse to the people that he met an accident and therefore his face had been spoiled. That's why he was wearing bandages. Okay, fine. Soon, with shoes, overcoat, and wide-brimmed hat, he became fully dressed and visible person. In the kitchen of the restaurant, he found cold meat and coffee. He followed up the meal with sweets and wine taken from the grocery store. Finally, he settled down to sleep on a pile of quails. So it was a big showroom, restaurant, and all these things were found there. So he managed to have meals also. He found in the he slept in the pile of quills. It was very cozy store for Griffin. If only Griffin had managed to wake up in good time, all might have been well. So all might have been well if Griffin might have managed to wake up early next morning. Okay, as it was, he did not wake up until the assistants were already arriving next morning. So when did he wake up? After the arrival of the assistants, when they opened the store next morning. When he saw a couple of them approaching, he panicked and began to run. They naturally gave chase. Now he was visible because he was wearing clothes. So when he saw all assistants coming inside the store, he got frightened and started running. They all chased him. In the end, he was able to escape only by quickly taking off his newly found clothes. So how he escaped? By removing his clothes. So he took out his clothes. So once more he found himself invisible but naked in chill January air. It was January month, bitterly cold outside, but he had to remove his clothes. He became invisible, but the chill air was unbearable for invisible man, that was Griffin. This time he decided to try the stock of theatrical company in the hope of finding out only clothes, but also finding that would hide the empty space above his shoulders. Shivering with cold, he hurried to Drury Lane, the center of the theater world. So this time he is going to a theater world. There was a big set of a theater. So he thought to get clothes from there. Not only clothes, but he thought to cover the area above the shoulders, that was face and neck. Okay, so he was shivering. He soon found a suitable shop. He made his way invisible upstairs and came out a little later wearing bandages round his forehead, dark glasses, false nose, big bushy side whiskers, and a large hat. To escape without being seen, he callously attacked the shopkeeper from behind, and after which he robbed him of all the money he could find. Now, from that store, he was able to get the clothes, and he wrapped his face with the bandages. He wore big black glasses. Then he also wore false nose. The tip of the nose he wore the false, because he could not cover the nose. If he would have covered the nose, then he could have become exhaustible, or he could not be able to breathe. Therefore he wore false pink nose. Okay, then he wore big side whiskers, means mustaches, and a large hat. So what did he do? He hit the whom the shopkeeper. Okay, carelessly means without caring. He without caring attacked the shopkeeper, and he robbed him, and was able to get some money. Okay children, so how did the invisible man became become visible? When he entered into the store, he managed to get the new clothes from the store, London store, big London store. Okay, why was he wandering the streets? Because the landlord had evicted him from the house. Okay, therefore he started wandering the streets. He had no clothes, no money, nothing with him. So next part, let us begin. Why does Mrs. Hall find the scientist eccentric? What curious episode occurs in the study? What other extraordinary things happen at the inn? So eccentric means very strange. Okay, so we will learn now in the second part. Eager to get away from crowded London, he took a train to the village of Iping, where he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. So he managed to he caught a train to Iping, village Iping. It was in London only. So London was a city, but now Iping is a village. Okay, so there he booked 2 rooms. It was a local inn. Inn means hotel where you can rest. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter was, in any case, an unusual event. So, at that hotel, visitors coming in the month of winter was very unusual. So, when they saw the stranger at their hotel, they were they were wondering. Okay, they were wondering how could it be possible. A stranger of such uncommon appearance set all tongues wagging. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly. So there they saw such a strange person who was covered with bandages over the face and neck, wearing glasses and long mustache, not even speaking. See, they all became very suspicious. Okay, so who is the owner? Mrs. Hall and its owner. Okay, so she was very suspicious. She tried to be friendly with him. Okay, but he did not speak to anyone. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly, but Griffin had no desire to talk and told her, "My reason for coming to Iping is a desire for solitude. I do not wish to be disturbed in my work because, besides, an accident has affected my face." So this Griffin said to Mrs. Hall that he wanted peace, he want loneliness. That's why he had come to Iping. He is working for on some experiments. He had to do some experiments, so he doesn't want anyone to disturb him. And he also told that his face was affected by an accident. That's why he was wearing bandages. Satisfied that her guest was an eccentric scientist, and in view of the fact that he had paid her in advance. Now, this man was very clever. He paid Mrs. Hall in advance. So, Mrs. Hall could not deny the man. Okay. So, Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse this strange man's habits and irritable temper. So, he was very short tempered. He was very irritating. He had very bad habits. But Mrs. Hall could not say anything because he had paid for everything in advance. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. He pretended, however, he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. Now, the stolen money, the robbed money were over, so Griffin made an excuse that soon he will be getting a check, then he will pay all the bills of the inn. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. Very early in the morning, a clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study. Creeping downstairs, they heard a chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. Okay, what is clergyman, Miss Children? Christian priest, you can say. Christian priest was sleeping. Both husband and wife were sleeping when at midnight they heard some noises in their study room. Okay, there was some chink of money, means who was there? Invisible man was robbing their house. They are robbing their money. So without make, the both of them came downstairs to the study room. Okay, without making any noise, and with a poker grasped firmly in his hand, the clergyman flung open the door. So clergyman thought there was a robber. So he had a poker, means metal rod. He picked a metal rod, flung open the door in order to hit the robber. Surrender, he said. Now let us see what happened then. Then, to his amazement, he realized that the room appeared to be empty. He and his wife looked under the desk, behind the curtains, even up the chimney. There wasn't a sign of anybody, yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was missing. So the desk was open, money was missing, person could not be seen anywhere. They searched him everywhere. Extraordinary affair, the clergyman kept saying for the rest of the day. It was extraordinary because it was unusual. He couldn't see the robber. But it was not as extraordinary as the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. But something more extraordinary happened at Mrs. Hall's house. Something happened to her furniture the same morning. The landlord and his wife were up very early and were surprised to see the scientist's door wide open. Usually it was shut and locked, and he was furious if anyone entered his room. The opportunity seemed too good to be missed. So next morning, when landlord and his missus or wife, they woke up, they saw the door was open. So they found a good chance to go inside the scientist's room, who never allowed them to enter. Okay. So they peeped round the door, saw nobody, and decided to investigate. The bedclothes were cold, showing that the scientist must have been up for some time, and the stranger still. The clothes and bandages that he always wore were lying about the room. But when they entered into the room, they found the bed sheet was cold. It means he might have woke up early, but his all clothes and bandages were lying over the bed. It means he had become invisible and he had disappeared from there. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to her ear. Sniff means when he breathed through our nose. So sniffing sound was heard near her ear. It means he was there only. This mysterious man was near Mrs. Hall. How scary it is. A moment later, the hat on the bedpost leapt up. dashed itself into her face. So who was doing? Invisible Man. He dashed the hat into Mrs. Hall's face. Then the bedroom chair became alive. It also started moving. Springing into a air, it charged straight at her, legs foremost. So the legs were towards Mrs. Hall and they got struck into her. It means Griffin hit that old lady with the chair. As she and her husband turned away in terror, the extraordinary chair pushed them both out of the room and then appeared to slam and lock the door after them. So Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs. In hysterics, she was frightened. Okay, so hysteric means wildly emotional reactions. She was about to fall from the stairs. She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits and that the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. So she thought that bad spirits had come to her room and they had got inside the furniture. That's why the whole furniture was flying into the air and was hitting her. My poor mother used to sit in that chair. She moaned to think it should rise up against me now. So, how could that chair hit her where her mother used to sit? The feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. So, neighbors thought that it was a trouble that was caused by witchcraft. But witchcraft or not, when news of the burglary at the clergyman's home became known, the strange scientist was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. When the news spread that clergyman was robbed, so everybody was suspicious about scientist, that he had a hand in robbing clergyman because he was very, very unusual, very strange he was. Okay, so he was very weird. He had weird appearance with bandages and all. He never talked to anyone. He was very short tempered, very violent. Suspicion grew even stronger when he suddenly produced some ready cash, though he had admitted not long before that he had no money. So few days back he said that he had no money, but he produced or he gave cash within no days, and that was therefore everyone became suspicious about Griffin, that how could he manage money in a short time. The village constable was secretly sent for. Constable was sent to have to interrogate Griffin. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. I want to know what you have been doing to my chair upstairs, she demanded. And I want to know how it is you came out of an empty room and how you entered a locked room. So, when the door was locked, room was empty. But when she opened the door, she saw Griffin. So, she wanted to know the answers of these two questions. Okay. Next page. You can see he's removing the bandages. Constable is after him. So the scientist was always quick tempered. Now he became furious. He was short tempered, When he was asked these two questions by Mrs. Hall, he became very angry, very furious. You don't understand who or what I am? He shouted. Very well, I will show you. Suddenly he threw off bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and even nose. It took him only a minute to do this. The horrified people in the bar found themselves staring at a headless man. So his whole body was visible, only the head was invisible. So all became frightened, horrified. Mr. Jaffers, the constable, the name of constable is Mr. Jaffers, now arrived and was quite surprised to find that he had to arrest a man without a head. But Jaffer was not easily prevented from doing his duty. It means he did not stop. He had to do his duty. He did not get frightened. If the magistrate's warrant ordered a person's arrest, then that person had to be arrested with or without his head. As Jafar was ordered by magistrate that this man had to be arrested, it means he had to do his duty, whether he was with head or without head. There followed a remarkable scene as a policeman tried to get hold of a man who was becoming more and more invisible as he threw off one garment after another. When Constable was chasing him, Griffin started removing his clothes one after another and became more invisible. So it became very difficult for Constable to catch him. Finally, a shirt flew into the air, and the constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see at all, so he became totally invisible. Some people tried to help him but found themselves hit by blows, and that seemed to come from nowhere. So he was hitting people, he was punching people, he was blowing them. So they could not make out from where those blows were coming. In the end, Jeffers was knocked unconscious as he made at last. Sorry, where is it? Okay. As he In the end, Jeffers was knocked unconscious as he made at last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist. He became unconscious because invisible man hit him very hard. Okay, when he there were there were nervous, excited cries of hold him, but this was easier said than done. It was easier to say hold him, catch him, but very difficult to catch him. Griffin had shaken himself free, and no one knew where to lay hands on him, how to hold him, how to catch him. So in this way, the invisible man was able to run away from there. Got it, children? So this is a story of a scientist who misused his power, misused his discovery of becoming invisible. So we found that he was very lawless person. He was intelligent, but he was very lawless. He was short tempered. Okay, he was a criminal type of person. You can say he was criminal. So he was very sadist. Sadist means to get pleasure by hitting others, hurting others. He was a sadist. Okay, if he would have been a true scientist, he would have used his discovery for the benefit of society. Okay, not for just his own benefit. So this is all what we have learned from the chapter. Hope you liked my class. So bye bye and see ya in the next video.